So, before I start, I'm going to play this little clip from the Jeremy Vine show.
He says Joe Biden is someone who's so old he doesn't know he's alive.
I mean, he's got. I mean, not to. I mean, Biden is a joke.
But unfortunately, Biden might.
Okay, this is a clip from a talk show hosted by Jeremy Vine, and his guest on this occasion is Owen Jones. And I know Jones is a blithering idiot who can't see anything at all except through his socialist red-tinted goggles. And usually he speaks in cut and paste tropes that would do credit to a Comintern official. But I have to say that for the first time ever, I agree with him. After all, they do say that even a stopped clock tells the right time twice a day. Did you notice there was a slight tinge of triumphalism in Jones's voice? I'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, Jones said that Biden was a joke, and he's correct. First of all, I want to say that I can understand people not wanting to vote for Trump, not because he's a bad man or a bad president, because he was neither, but because not everyone feels the same about politics. I know a lot of people found him abrasive and crass. On the other hand, when you're voting and there's a choice of two, in general, most people don't go for the saviour of the human race, they go for the least worst. And I'd have thought that however bad people found Trump, as I said, I thought he was pretty good, but that's just my opinion. However bad they found Trump, I'd have thought that to a man, they would have risen up against the Democrats, putting in front of them a leader who doesn't even know how to lead because he doesn't know what day it is. That's just an insult to the American people, I'd have thought. But obviously enough Americans didn't think that at all. Now, I do believe there was cheating and fraud and illicit votes and even forged votes. But the fact is that even if this were the case, there was still a substantial set of legitimate votes for Biden. Whether there was enough to swing the vote to Biden's side or not is not material here. The fact is, there was a base of Biden votes. So let's face it, it's not only Biden is the joke about which Jones is talking. It's the American political system that's the joke. It's the American government that's the joke. And I'm afraid it's the American people as well. So now I'm going to tell you about the BBC and the Guardian's attitude to America. First of all, you may remember I told you a while ago about an incident in some previous election. It was 2004, actually, where the Guardian invited its readers to write to voters in, it was in Ohio. And it was called Operation Clark County. And the Guardian invited its readers to write to voters. They'd actually had a list of voters and they allocated some of them to any volunteer to write so that these volunteers, these Guardian reading volunteers, would write emails or letters to these voters asking them to vote in a particular way in an attempt to sway the election to the Democrats. And they got some pretty interesting letters in response, well-deserved interesting letters, I might say. But I want to draw to your attention the complete and overbearing self-importance of The Guardian and its readers, who believed they had any right at all to tell the voters of another country how best to vote. It just beggars belief, the hubris. But it comes from a particular mindset, that is, the Guardian and the readers who wrote in. I'm sure some of them saw that as total rubbish, but some of them did write in. And those people all think, or thought at the time, but the idea is still current, that they are naturally more sophisticated and have better grasp of politics, and they are superior in every way to their rather stupid and yokelish cousins across the Atlantic. And the BBC and the Guardian all think the same way. And I know about that because I was there. And I didn't think like that. No, I didn't fit in at all, I can tell you. Anyway, that's a diversion. Those two august organs of news dissemination don't confine themselves to thinking they're superior to the Tony Randalls of this world, the working class lads from Luton, the ignorant country bumpkins in Norfolk, the working class oiks in Yorkshire. No, they don't think they're superior just to those guys. They think they're superior to all those naive, ignorant and slightly educationally subnormal colonials in the USA as well. And oh boy, how they love it when they think their theory has been proved correct. Now, they're far too polite to actually say this, because they're frightfully well-mannered. But in just the same way as the Democrats consider themselves morally, spiritually, and intellectually superior to all you Trump voters in the USA, so the BBC consider themselves superior to even the most sophisticated of the Democrats. And now they are enjoying themselves mightily over the prospect of an America emasculated by a clown in the top office. And they may not be saying that, as I said, they're far too polite and restrained, but that's what they're thinking about. And that's what they're enjoying of the mess that America is making of itself. And that's where someone like Owen Jones actually comes in useful, because he is such an idiot. He doesn't play those well-mannered games. He doesn't know when to be polite and to shut up, and he just comes out with it. So here's to you, Owen Jones. You actually came across not only talking sense, but confessing what the rest of your establishment thinks and doesn't dare to say. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the Graniopteryx design or Granbo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.graniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.